Hello, everyone. We are going to be running a Stitch Rush deck today. So it's going to be an Amber Amethyst deck, and I like to call it Rush Amber Amethyst. So let's see how this does. So for our deck, in the Amber cards, we have pretty much 4 copies of all of the 1-drops and 2-drops, along with Stitch and Be Our Guest and Lantern. So that means 4 copies of Hey Hey, 4 copies of LeFou, 4 copies of Minnie, 4 copies of Stitch, 4 copies of Timon. And then we have 4 copies of Stitch Rockstar, and then 4 copies of the Lantern, if I can find it. There it is, to essentially rush out Stitch a little bit sooner if possible. And then 4 copies of Be Our Guest to search out for the Stitches or any 1-drop or 2-drop we can play once we do have a Stitch on board. The Lantern is still really useful with the Stitch deck because sometimes shifting out Stitch on turn 4 is still a little bit too slow because on turn 5 opponents can just Dragonfire, let it go, removal that Stitch Rockstar, and it's really difficult to recover after that. So sometimes you really do need that Stitch on turn 3. And then for Amethyst cards, we have 4 copies of Archimedes as a 1-drop, Dr. Facilier as a 2-drop. That 4 health stat line helps a lot, as you'll see in our games. A lot of times when you play out your 1-drop, 2-drops exerted, opponents are going to challenge into them. So essentially, you want bodies that can absorb those attacks. And then we have 4 copies of Olaf, once again, as a 1-drop for with 3 health, it is very nice. Olaf is all the way at the top. That's interesting. I wonder how Pixelborn sorts its cards. So that 3 health on the 1-drop, once again, really helps absorb hits when it comes into play exerted. And then 4 copies of Pascal, even better because opponents have a hard time challenging into Pascals when it comes in exerted. Then 4 copies of Friends on the other side for card draw, 4 copies of Maleficent for card draw as well. We don't include any of the 1-drop Maleficent specifically because it's uninkable. If it was inkable, absolutely we would be including 4 copies. But there's enough uninkable cards in this deck already with Lanterns and Rafiki that we really want things to be inkable. And then finally, we include 4 copies of Rafiki just for some threat to challenge opponent's board. And Rafiki is just an overall really nice card. It's probably one of the best uncommons in the first chapter of Lorcana. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the basic deck description. And let's get into some games and see if we can showcase some wins. Hopefully, not too many losses. And let's go. So we got Rush, Amber, Amethyst. Okay, quick start to the game. Let's see. We have turn 1 stage. We don't have a lantern, so we're probably gonna mulligan everything just to see if we can get some more stitches or a lantern. Pretty simple how you run this deck. It's pretty much a very narrow path one way. Okay, another stitch is good. So that way, if opponents remove that first stitch, we still have another one. Typically here what I do is just ink all of the 2 costs first because they do end up being pretty slow and we will run out the stage. The 2 costs really just when you have a stitch on board, you want to play the 1-drops. 2-drops just you get fewer cards out and fewer draws. So that's why they're much easier to ink um, at the beginning. Okay, opponent plays Pascal. We will once again ink a mini. and we will play out another Stitch, and we can quest with this Stitch, knowing that it's only turn 2. Opponent will have up to 2 ink. They cannot get to 3 ink for Rafiki. Whenever you're playing against Amethyst, you need to be careful that an opponent's playing Rafiki. So we pass. Next turn, we won't quest with Stitches, just because of the possibility that opponent has Rafiki, and so we don't want to lose our Stitches. And they're playing Emerald. Okay, so pretty hard deck to beat. Yeah, Emerald Amethyst is just very, very good. So cool. We will ink something. We'll probably ink the Timon, and we will play out the Maleficent for the card draw because we need one more turn in order to get to the Stitch. So we pass. All right, so we have a few turns before opponent can genie our Stitch back. So we have to try to make the most of those turns. Okay, that's totally fine. I'm actually really tempted to run both Stitches, or yeah, run both Stitches into Cruella. Cruella will return something, and then I can shift onto the other Stitch if Cruella returns 1 Stitch. And so that way I have a 4 health Stitch. But Zeus, right? If opponent has Zeus, it's... Anyways, we will always friends on the other side. Maleficent. Let's see what we get. Okay, not bad. Hmm. Yeah, I think here we just be our guest, or ink be our guest, and shift onto a Stitch. We really don't want to run into a Zeus as well. If Zeus wasn't a possibility, I would seriously consider taking out the Cruella and then shifting onto the Stitch. But here we are just going to shift onto the Stitch, and we will challenge the Cruella and pass. And hopefully they don't just abuse the Cruella glitch where Cruella can challenge into one of our creatures and then return our Stitch, because that would just be pretty much GG. Yep, they do have a Zeus. Good thing we didn't double challenge you to Cruella. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Cool. Okay. Still gonna be very difficult because of Cheshire. So anyways, we're definitely gonna take out the Zeus because, we don't want it to challenge again. And we're gonna start playing out our 1-drops and see if we can change some stuff. Okay? Let's go. Nice, we got another Stitch. That's really good. So I think what we're gonna end up having to do is we're gonna play the lanterns. Exert it in order to play out the Olaf. And then we're going to ink a LeFou. So that way we can play out another Stitch if we need to. And then, oh, it's really tempting. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is sing Friends on the Other Side with Stitch. Because, no, if opponent can remove it. No, yeah, never mind. We're just gonna play out the Archimedes. And say pass. We have to be true to our deck, which is our deck only wins by getting as many creatures as we can onto the board. So now we can at least challenge the Cheshire Cat and kill it with some of these characters and our Pascal can run into their Pascal. That's fine. Nice. And they didn't play anything. Okay, so our Pascal runs into their Pascal. Our Rafiki is gonna run into their Cheshire. We're going to Inca be our guest. We're going to sing Friends on the Other Side with a Stitch. And we're going to play out an Olaf. Get some more card draw. Another Stitch. Nice. We're gonna tap the Lantern, play the Facilier, grab another card draw, play the Timon. Here a Stitch, might as well. Actually, that's actually pretty nice. And okay. And then we don't really want to challenge into Cruella again, so we're just gonna quest with everything. And try to catch up a little bit. Next turn, they're probably gonna have a Genie to bounce back our Stitch. But you know, what can we do? Yep. Bounce back Stitch. Okay. Good news is now we can challenge into the Cruella without too big of an issue. And we're going to be questing with everything else, right? So quest. We'll probably run into the Cruella with Dr. Facilier. So quest, 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 quest. Quest. Run into Cruella with Dr. Facilier. See what they return. They return an Olaf. Cool. They probably should return my Stitch because now we're going to shift Stitch back on. And then we can start doing the card draw shenanigans again. Whoa. Okay. Now we have 2. So we're probably, well, we might as well play out the Stitch. Nice. Hey. So we're going to ink a Maleficent. Play out the Lanterns. Tap the Lanterns and play out the Hey. And we have a lot of board presence on board. So, yeah. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 points. So they need to take out my Stitch. And hopefully that will just, yep. Okay. I don't think they're gonna, yeah, I don't think they're gonna be fast. That returned both Stitches. That's a glitch too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and they're gonna be at 18, so we're going to tap, play out the Stitch, play out a Stitch. I'm worried about them returning all of the Stitches, but we're gonna be so far ahead that it'll be fine. And then we're going to ink Dr. Facilier, play out another Stitch. I think I'm bugging the board now. Oh well. Don't know what's happening. Yeah, and they have up to 18. Yep, and that's game. Cool. That went very smoothly, and we actually beat or Amethyst Emerald, so that's always a welcome. So let's try again. Yeah, sometimes like there's a couple of different like options that you have playing the deck, and you just have to stick with your guts of knowing this is what your deck is meant to do. Play out the Stitch, keep him alive, and get as many 1/2 drops on the field as you can. And sometimes it's hard because you want to challenge or use that Stitch, but yeah. Let's see. So we don't have any stitches or lanterns. So this is gonna be a full mulligan. You have to aggressively mulligan for a stitch here. And if we don't get any pieces, that's really bad. We get at least a rock star this hand, but we are really far behind already here. So we're just gonna have to figure out how to stall until we get some stitch pieces like that. All right, now we are in business. We will play Inga Mini and play out the stitch. Pretty much routine. The Stitch decks really play themselves up. Okay, so they have steel, so they're gonna potentially have fire to cannons, which is gonna be annoying. Um, let's see, we don't want LeFou. We probably want to just pass and keep Rafiki in case they end up questing with Prince Eric. The Facilier is nice to have out. I don't see a need right now, and we want to conserve our hand. So I guess we pass. And then hopefully if they quest with Prince Eric, we're going to rush out Rafiki. Yeah, okay, cool. They have not learned to respect the Rafiki yet. So we are going to ink a mini and rush out Rafiki and kill the Prince Eric. And then we will pass. Friends on the other side. Friends on the other side. Okay, yeah, smart choice. Take out the Stitch. Delay us a little bit more because now we need to either draw another Stitch or get up to 6 ink. But man, the Rafiki, this is where Rafiki really shines. We ink a LeFou, play out another Rafiki, and then we can completely wipe their board. So that's gonna be really nice. They do have a lot of card draw. 2 more turns until our Stitch is online. So we'll play the Maleficent for the card draw. And then we will ink a Facilier. Once again, just get rid of all of our 2 drops or higher. So next turn, the plan is to play out the Stitch. Hopefully it survives, and then we can drop all of our 1 drops. So we pass. Let's say go. Okay, at least they don't have fire the cannons for a Stitch, so that's fine. Yep, more friends on the other side. Yep, and return. Did they use cannon? Okay. That's fine. We've slowed them down enough, I think. Like, we have definitely slow them down a lot. So we ink a Timon. Though Timon can be really useful against fire the cannons and that ping damage. Yeah, we might save the Timon. We're inking Archimedes, play out the Stitch, and then we will run into the Maleficent. Just, singing friends on the other side is very annoying. And pass. Okay, so now we are set up to just play all of our one drops and see how much we can go. Man, that Mickey is big boy. 2-7 for 2 lore. Okay. Think we have a couple of turns. So we stalled them successfully enough that we are going to be able to get some good value out of our Stitch. Okay. And then we just run out our 2 drops. We do want to run out our lanterns when we can. Just because they technically is kind of like ramp. And then we will ink a mini. Drop. And then say pass. Yeah, I think we're set up pretty well. We can quest with a bunch of things next turn. Probably gonna try to dig for something. That's pretty good card to grab. Let's see. Yeah, I can't imagine them to be questing with everything. They're probably gonna want to at least challenge something with Prince Eric and Herc. Or not. They really want that card draw, huh? Okay, well, gives me more turn to ramp. Okay. So we continue our so we drop the Timon. Okay. Play the mini. Play the Olaf. Nice. We do got another Stitch now. Play the LeFou. Play the Olaf. And play the Timon. We will ink a Maleficent. Okay. And then we will just quest with things. We won't quest with that Stitch. The question is, do we quest with this Stitch? So they need 5 damage. And it does 3 damage back. So I think we are gonna hold off on that. If we're holding off on questing with this Stitch, we probably should quest with this Stitch. Honestly, 4. It's a good question. I'm okay with questing with this Stitch and holding back the other Stitch. Because then we're just gonna shift onto that Stitch. And hopefully continue to get some more card draw. Yeah, no, we definitely have a lot of presents on board, but they can remove a lot of things. That's one thing. Put this down. Okay, good. They're not taking out the exerted stitch. I'm fine with that. How many points do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. I have a lot of 4. Okay. Let's go take that out. There's 3 more challenges. Or 2 more challenges. Okay. Doesn't. Okay. I guess we're gonna just shift the stitch. Oh, there be your guest. We could sing it with Minnie. Yeah, I think that might be the best play. Okay, Pascal's nice. Drop a Pascal. Okay, we'll play our friends on the other side. Um, play out the Olaf. You. Okay, so I can't play out both of these. So we will ink a Facilier. Then they don't have lethal, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're just gonna quest with everything. And see if they can deal with our board state. It's one thing down. Two things down. Good thing is Stitch can tank quite a bit. They are out of ink, so that's good. Yeah, I don't think they got this. Yep, nope. We have one extra character to spare. But man, it's close. That's why you really gotta rush out with things. Yep, just enough. And GG. Well, there you have it. That's typically what you do in order to try to play a um Stitch deck. And there's a bunch of iterations. This one so far has felt pretty nice. There's Amber Sapphire and Amber Steel as well. So it really kind of depends on your style and how you want to play it. But yeah, hopefully this has been helpful, and see you next time. Bye.